Okay, greetings. Just waiting for YouTube to wake it up, or lock on, or whatever word you want to use. Taking a while. Trying a new thing with YouTube also. Let's see if she works. So far, she's not. It's taking longer than it normally does. Twitch took a while also. Alright, we'll get started once everything is fired up. YouTube is still, that's not good. Great. Oh, there we go. Okay, I wasn't too sure what was going to go on with that. I'm trying something new with YouTube. And it's hot here. Okay, I guess I'll have to have a fan up here instead. Yeah, it's been raining, but it's now hot again. Alright, greetings everyone. Thank you for joining us. Now, as for YouTube, it should now have the descriptions below the video now. Wasn't there before. So, finally got that to work. Alright, as for tonight's subject is going into manifesting, connecting to the universe. Something a lot of us don't, well, we do it kind of, here and there. But basically, you know, obviously we all have a contract and you have to follow that contract. But also you can, you know, connect to whatever you feel, call it whatever you want, to make things happen. Of course, little things usually work the easiest. The bigger ones take a little bit longer. That doesn't mean not to do it. But yeah, you cannot allow of stress to yourself as for manifesting bigger things. As for, well, for my example, for me doing this, I wasn't manifesting it. As for channeling and all this, I wasn't, at least I wasn't aware of. Being in this spot, being on YouTube and all this, I wasn't looking for any of that. So here we are. So that tells you how manifesting works. So, no, none of this, no, I never thought I'd ever be in this spot or documentaries or any of it, so, or talking about this for that matter. So so it can happen in mysterious ways. So the reason I don't have the light on is because my face is all washed out and it gets kind of tired looking at that. I might switch it around, we'll see. So there's different ways of connecting to the universe. Basically, it's you can connect to the universe for traffic. So I just want, it's not always the easiest, especially during rush hour. But you can always do ahead of time, like for a work week. Like I want a calm and uneventful week, but productive. Of course, I do that, and it doesn't always work. But it can get in there somehow, eventually. So little things can occur. As for, once again, finances also. You can ask the universe for a certain amount of money throughout the week, or throughout, you know, I need this much money this week or next week. And you're basically just setting out to the universe of what things that you want. Doesn't mean you'll get it, but you never know. It's basically just connecting to the universe to basically become used to this. Become used to connecting to all things around us, and that's basically opening us up more to spirit. As eventually what I do see in the future is that spiritualism of all types will be the celebrity of our world. I'm not sure in my lifetime, but eventually it will occur. And these actors that are doing all this voodooism will not be all that exciting anymore. Right now, magic and power is scary to many because they're not ready for it, or they want to stay asleep forever, whatever it might be. You know, everyone has their own reason for it, for lessons, and some just don't want to grow up. And it's quite a few. I don't know how or ready for it, whatever it might be. Some souls come here that have been lazy in other universes or other worlds, and never really grew there either, so they're here. And this is why we have, so you're kind of forced to get a job, and that's, and just to get them more productive. That's, this world's not all that bad. I mean, it's not easy, but it does get you to be more productive. That's a challenge also. Can you get a lazy person to be productive? So it's, and of course those that are homeless are just pretty much like, I'm not going to be part of the system, period. That doesn't mean that they're lazy. It just means that they don't want to be part of our system, which I don't blame them. So there's that too. So it's just they reject our system altogether, and they have every right to. Of course, we gotta treat them better, but we'll figure that out eventually. We gotta figure out ourselves. Yeah, there's a video about Jeff Bezos that runs Amazon. He's spending all this money to go to space, but what about the people that are working at his warehouses that can't pay their bills and everything? They pay them what they think they're worth, but it's like they treat them like slaves. And you can treat them with more respect. So if he has enough money to send whatever it is, monkeys into space, you can at least treat the people better. So that's, I guess it goes back to the movie Metropolis, basically. The rich guy and the slaves. If you've ever seen that movie, it's Metropolis. So yeah, it's I believe we're going to break out of this eventually. Basically, the world become more spiritual. That's part of the event also. As for disclosure, it'll be mostly conversation, opening up to more conversations about disclosure, by disclosing ourselves, our own abilities, our own selves, our own directions, and whatever it might, our own unmasking our alien self. That's really what this is all about. I channel different alien beings, but most of the time I'm sitting here doing my own thing. I don't have a Bashar or whatever. I don't do any of that stuff. I don't feel compelled to go in that direction. Because it's about us. It's about us awakening ourselves, taking our power back. And these beings channel through to help us find our direction. But I don't put them on a high pedestal or anything like that, like others might, or whatever it is. It's a teacher. But we're also here to, untie ourselves of manipulations of the third dimension, and take our power back and allow more of these beings to connect to us, but also to repair this place. And things take time. As for how it's going to happen, it's hard to say. Disclosure can still happen, and it's quiet right now. We're going into June soon, so July. Let's see. July is going to be a wild month from what I feel. Not to say June won't be, but July feels like there's going to be activity. I don't know if it's going to be alien, but it's going to be activity. Let's put it that way. More than usual. It doesn't mean it's going to be war. Eventually, war will be healed on our planet. It takes time. As we take more spiritualism within ourselves, we activate ourselves. We just will undo the Earth's manipulations over time. Many are still holding on to their mission lessons, of course. Last thing you want to do is take them out of that. Well, you can't anyway. But as more humans here become more powerful within their own self, over the next few years, I feel most of us will become more aware of our capabilities, stronger. As for how the aliens and us interact, hard to say. Their consciousness is connecting to us, but they're learning through us, and we're learning through them. As many of them don't want to have a third dimension experience. Can you blame them? But they are technically they're learning it through us. So they are experiencing it just like a spirit guide will, but maybe not as intense. The spirit guide goes through everything. I don't think the aliens go through that much. They go through a little bit of it, but not that much. Alright, yeah, as far as universe, connecting to the universe, basically trusting that you can do these things. Manifesting what you need is basically how it works. Wants aren't the easiest to manifest, but needs are like food, money, to feed yourself and become a better person, open up your abilities. Yeah, so it's basically using the universe to connect to things that you need and to remember your power. Now, yeah, you have to work within your timeline, of course, because it's going to be difficult to bring like all these Ferraris and a trip to Mars and all that, because they're not really here for that. Oh, maybe you are, some aren't. So there's going to be that. So you just work within what you have, basically. It's another way of connecting to, basically just, you know, connecting to your higher self, however you want to go about it. But it's an, I've been told this ages ago about, you know, but I never really used it that much. On and off. Used it yesterday for a parking spot. I use it, well, yeah, I guess I use it more than I thought. Actually, I do. I just got an indication of that. You know, to continue this, for messages that can assist others in a positive way, and, you know, help us grow into a next generation, next direction. Once again, the alien connections here. You know, it's not so much about them as it is about us taking back our power. And oh yeah, there's been a couple, I don't know if I mentioned this yesterday, I can't remember anything. Another thing for you, I mean, connected to a world of gods. I mean, technically I believe we're gods and living a human experience, but you can take that wherever you want. But some aren't really ready to hear that, and some will get a god complex, and that'll be the end of everybody, so whatever. But think of a world of gods. You can think of a world of angels, but what about the world of gods? Where a lot of them do act very childish, like babies, from what I picked up of. Some are very mature, and a lot of them are not. So, it's another... I believe there are many gods out there. They don't always show themselves, but it is something for you to look into. I don't bring it up very often. I mean, I've connected more. It's been connecting to me more recently. So, we're all teaching each other. As for being in this human experience, obviously the God of this world is kind of the runt of the flock in a lot of ways. It can be good, but it's also very challenging. He likes to challenge everyone, and we're being challenged. He likes to challenge everybody, even himself, or herself, or itself, or whatever it is. That's whatever they wants to call himself. But basically, as we become more, basically over time, we'll go through phases of more soul awakenings. And won't be able to be ignored by your modern day human, as we're just basically, as we connect to our power, we're teaching humanity how to use their own. Channeling messages is great and everything, but it's basically is to unlock our Kundalini ourselves. Yes, they're there to assist. The aliens are, but and the angels. But we have the power, we just have to reconnect to it, find it. Of course, it's not going to be the easiest because of certain reasons, but basically it's like recharging yourself and gradually, it's basically, because we're used to having realities where everything's perfect. Now this I've forgotten recently, probably for a while now. We're used to perfect realities, where we look perfect, our bodies are perfect, our minds are perfect, take to anything. Everything's just hunky-dory. And we come to this world, everything's opposite of that. And that's the point of it. You know, we're not in shape, we're all falling apart, our bodies are falling, minds falling apart, bodies all, you know, that's the point of being here. it's the, yeah, be a human, it's the decay in some regard. But that's the beauty of it, but also the challenge of it, obviously. But that does not mean we can't connect more spiritually. Basically, it's another way of connecting to your spiritual self, as your body is not exactly the easiest to connect with. Your spiritual self is. That's still fully active. So you should also use that as motivation to use your own power around yourself, to your astral self, your higher self, oversoul. You don't have to connect to your oversoul, like that's all that. It feels like connecting to oversoul makes it kind of too easy, meaning that all the knowledge is there. We're not here to have all the knowledge. We're here to have, we're here to find the knowledge. But yeah, here is basically just a challenge. Yeah, because if you had all the knowledge, what would be the point of being here? So, but obviously we get assistance. That's another thing with connecting to the universe. When you're going through a hard time, ask for assistance. Being angry all the time is very easy. Yeah, who hasn't been there? But ask for assistance from the universe to give you some relief or something. As for knowledge, is not always the easiest to get to, obviously, because it's connected to the universe, and like certain channel messages, sometimes it's just general messages. Because once again, we're all just waiting. It's the art of waiting. So there's a lot of that going on. So it's the art of, because I'm not sure what we're waiting for. I don't know. I mean, I was told this like 10 years ago, and now I'm doing this. So I didn't know what I was waiting for, and now I'm doing this. So I don't know. It's usually unexpected, like with the alien disclosure situation. It's usually unexpected. So yeah, nothing's being very clear on. Everything's quiet. So that's a good thing. Doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Let's see. One moment. Alright. I'll go into this real quick. As IvanTalker.com, we have private sessions throughout the week. What's available for the week? I have private Google Hangouts, Zoom, channeling by phone, Skype. Almost there. Yeah, the 5-minute question, or yeah, questions here are usually answered. I think I'm at the 5-day mark for now, sort of. We also have the same thing here. Yeah, I gotta check this. Yeah, we also have questions here. That's once again the 5-day mark, hopefully. And also here are other channelers and healers I much recommend. We also have the Patreon about the rabbit, and I'll be posting his stuff soon. Waiting on something right now. And also, if you want a galactic, like an insider with behind the scenes type of thing, here you can get that here also. If you want to support the channel, keep things going, I also have the social network here. Oh yeah, there's the Moore Show, posted that. This is Darren, the push. Basically, they push people to become murderers, which is really, it's just basically, it's an experiment. It's just pure pressure, basically. Scary stuff, but true. And our society is pushed into that, definitely. Ex-military officer tells extraordinary, what is that? Oh. Anyway, cool. Thank you for posting. And Illuminati Blood Oath. Gotta love it. Alright, thank you for posting here. Much appreciate. Also the Jake comic, and this one's online. Probably this weekend I'll be posting it for online viewing. Alright, let's see here. But as for manifesting, yeah, it's basically, I mean, now if you don't always think about it, you're probably not there to do it. But you never know when it comes to mind. Manifesting, usually it's small things, not major. That doesn't mean you can't manifest things that you want. It takes longer for the bigger things. Just kind of go with the flow. You know what you want and go with it. From my experience, at least, just go blind. I don't know how. Yeah, But things that, little things are usually easiest. If you truly want it, will be most likely manifest. Whatever it might be. Mostly it's just go with the flow. That's usually the message I've gotten, and usually that's the way. You know, it's to have a positive experience, but remember you're also human, so you're here to be human, so be human. So if you're not going to have the best day in the world, doesn't mean you have to have the most cheeriest experience. Just be yourself, because, you know, you gotta be you gotta be you, gotta be real. That's what matters most. But yeah, the universe is definitely with you, and I think that will get stronger as you use it more. As basically, yeah, it helps with like finances, like I need a certain amount this month or whatever it is. You gotta give it time for that to connect also, but and that's one thing. Or for your abilities, your powers also, for messages from the spirit world, or for you know, that too. Just you're basically connecting to your higher self energy. You're connecting to the universe is what I get. So eventually we'll basically those that are becoming more aware are here to teach those in the third dimension how to grow eventually, as the abilities start to increase in time. It feels, once again, alien disclosure. Yeah, I want to go through that one more time. It's all quiet. Trying to get something out of it. I guess they're working on it. They're in like the garage, someone's garage, and putting it all together. It's a joke. Let's see. Alright, there are also some other beings here. Have been connected to me a little bit. I'm not sure who they are. So just, I guess we'll bring them in to give a different perspective. They've been kind of around me recently, but I'm not exactly what it is or what's going on, so I'll just bring them in. They're positive as far as I can tell. A different, yeah, definitely different perspective for sure. I think they're Arcturians from what I can feel. Arcturians that I'm not normally like ascended. Arcturians have been in this world, reincarnated in this world in the past, from what I can feel. Well, before we do that, positive energies, positive connections. Is there anybody from the universe that have a message for us at this time? As for alright. They're around, but not coming through. Well, sort of. Alright, we'll just bring them in another way. So, alright, blessings, and here we go. Greetings to you. We are the Anunnaki, the High Councils of your world. Yes, we are ascended masters from your Pluto. Yes, we have been connected to your Mars. As for, yes, transforming it into a new direction. You're, yes, Anunnaki on your planet. We are not on your world. We are in spirit. Those are on your world. Yes, I've been losing the battle as for holding on to your consciousness. As many of the reptilians also have lost their ability to control. Oh, many of you. As you connect more to yourselves, leave out the drama and just find inner peace. And that inner peace is basically you're blocking out manipulations. And in doing so, you are seeing your world in a new light. Yes, the beings of your past, of your, your scientists here are, yes, very much a Anunnaki energy. Some reptilian also, depending on their vibration. As for to take your world. Your Galileo is very much a reptilian, but a high vibrational reptilian. Of basically bringing his energy, his knowledge of course I am right. You foolish world going in the direction. Basically is there to steer your world in the right directions. Yes, he does have other connections there, but one of them is of a reptilian energy. You must be a reptilian also to defend yourself in harsh times. And those were, yes, harsh times, as you can see. Your Isaac Newton also. It has an Anunnaki vibration around him. As for once again to bring balance to your universe, as for basically a alien visitation was there. And yes, he was aware of other beings here, but not quite understand. He was still trying to figure out himself, let alone that beings around. And he's, yes, Isaac Newton is with the angels at this moment, as for healing. As for, yes, where your timeline is heading, is, yes, going into a more peaceful time, eventually. As there is still much to heal. Syria, Yemen, those places, and even in the home have not been fully healed, as you see. As many of it is disruptions everywhere, as you can see. As basically is to clean house. And many of you have alien aspects doing this. So you know this. So places that you feel you're drawn to. And many of you are connected to the oceans. Basically to allow more of the ocean beings to come out of the waters. As for the energies of your human at this moment, your standard human that doesn't believe in itself. As yes, a project done well. Much of it of the Zeta, as for basically to keep the human in the third dimension hypnotic energy. The Zeta has done excellent with that. Many of you, this is why so many are afraid of the Zeta, is because you see what it can do, and you don't want to go back to that, and you won't. But you see that, so that is another reason why they don't appear that often, but they are living among you. Many are positive, but it's difficult to see that, see how they're programming your society so well. And why so many Zetas make appearances, at least in the past, to see their work, to see what they have done, to abduct you, to see how well it's been working. That's part of it also. And some of you will see this. Yes, a new perspective, yes. The Zeta basically, along with others, but Zeta is the most powerful as for keeping humanity in a hypnotic state. When humanity finally realizes, yes, it will turn the lights on. But when will they do that? Because as you can see, they are like in their own avatar chair, aren't they? Like you see in virtual reality, as you see in the Matrix, but that is their life. Their life is the avatar chair, basically. They are roaming around doing third dimensional things, and many of you have broken out of that. Now you're connected to the sun and the sky and the moon, and just knowing more that you are beyond this world. So the avatar chair that you see in your movies, that those sit in and become somebody else, they're basically just living the third dimensional life, doing third dimensional things, and that is the avatar chair. Yes, it is not everything is going to be very clear in front of you, as you can see. So how to snap out of that? That is up to them. Yes, many of you are already you're already offering the truth, but many aren't ready for that. But that does not mean to just, you will have your message seen when the time is right. But basically, you are connected to all things, even each other. And that is not in your consciousness, as you can see, because that has been removed. Your history is all wrong also. I believe many of you are aware of that. Many of you are part of the true history of your world. Even that you can't connect to because of so many blockages. As you open yourself up more spiritually, you see your past more clearly as what is needed. Not all of it is needed to be seen, but some of it is, because it still needs to be healed. Yes, the past still has a place in it. It's when it is need to be seen, it will be, because many of you are still learning those. Basically, you're improving parts of the past, your past incarnations. You're improving many of those faults. So seeing it isn't always the best idea right now. It's not no point in it, because you're still fixing what went wrong in other places. But as for your place here, where this is all heading, as for your aliens, basically many of you are going to be tuned in a way where you'll see more of your aliens more clearly over time. You will just know it, feel it. You will just feel that you are in another different space and time. You're unraveling, yes, your third dimensional self, becoming more fourth dimension. But many of your mental states are fourth dimension, but the environment is still very thick, as you can see. When your world becomes less dense, you will be able to feel and see more clearly. So another thing for healing also is to ask for clearing out the denseness around yourself. It's like opening up an umbrella. It's just asking for a clearing around you so you can hear and see better. As for how successful that is, that's up to you and your guides and your direction. But the Anunnaki beings, yes, many of us are, yes, extraterrestrial. Many of us are not allowed on your planet anymore because of our history with your world. Not to say we were the ones causing difficulties, but also we can come in your world and turn things around very quickly. And that is not what you need right now. What you need right now is to turn on the light within yourself to see more. And those days are coming. That's all we can say. As basically your Kundalini activation is slowly being arranged, you can say. As for, yes, you have to work with those in the third dimension to not take them out of their world too quickly. Because many of you can just turn yourselves on, but it does cause a chain reaction to those around you. You're there for others, not just yourself. You're there for you. You're worrying through other experiences also. Those around you, you're worrying through them even if you aren't aware of it. So those that your friends, family, you're worrying through their experiences too. Those that connect to you, you're worrying through their experiences also. So you're just also you're preparing your future incarnations, you're healing your past incarnations. Because if you had a problem in your past incarnation looking for an answer to it, you come into a world where you don't remember everything and you run into a person that had the answer and you weren't there. Why you end up in certain situations is you're healing the past to further the future, to further you. So of course you're not going to have all the answers of why you're in certain situations. Car accidents also. Car accidents also is about learning more about you, others, but also to open yourself up. It's like a crash, but it's also I'm just turning myself on too. It's like a button for some. Others is just they go in reverse. That is up to them. Some of it's karma, but not always. As different, those that crash into each other, you're normally already aware of each other in some shape or form. You go into astral and say, I'm going to crash into you, I hope you're okay with that. Then you have a conversation about it. And you might break that contract, or you might increase it. It happens sooner than later. It's hard to say. I don't want to put that energy out there, but just to put that out there if you understand. As for the soul, as for its basically, many of you are going to go into more of a peaceful vibration. But first, you are battling others. You're battling the third dimension, I believe. You're healing the third dimension also. The battles you are going on within yourself is healing the outside world around you. It's basically, I see problems here, I see problems there. It's time to fix these things So you can't awaken until you fix these things. Because people do want to be awakened. They have to awaken in the right way. So many of you here are preparing for the awakening. You might not be aware of it, but I am here to tell you that. Yes, Anunnaki is very connected to your species. Yes, many of us do look like you. We did not look like you in the past, but we do now, as we're working through your energies. Yes, we do. We have some of our own modifications, but it's not that important. Yes, many of us are of royalty also, but not the same on your planet, as you call it. Yes, those royals are watching portals on your planet. They're basically the royalty on your planet that you call in your London. I believe that's where they are, to your Windsor Castle. They're keeping it's the old guard, basically. They're preserving it. The old ways. Yes, when that collapses, your fourth dimension will speed up like you would not believe. As for when it will, is it has to shut down within, though. They have to be willing to close it down themselves. As you can see, they're told not to do that. Some of them have tried to. Diana tried to. Others have tried to. But that is also basically your Windsor Castle within of the Cabal vibrations needs to deteriorate within. It needs to shut down its old ways and more of your truth. Because understand they are guarding many of your truths on your planet. They don't all know, but they know there's much more going on. Yes, Alien is connected to it also. They're keeping many secrets from all of you. You're looking for disclosure from your presidents. Well, what about your Windsor Castle? What about them? Because they can deliver it just as easy as anyone else. And they are not allowed to, but they can. But once they do, that'll be the end of their monarchy. To give you more understanding of that. Yes, there is a snake energy around it. It is part of your Lucifer energies, basically, of the negative, basically, is written all around that. Your Aleister Crowley, some of that is there also. It's basically is to seduce humanity, to keep it under control, until humanity just had enough of it. And they do, but they haven't. And it doesn't have to be through protests. It's just that the ways of your lives will shift. We'll not be doing the old as you used to. Families will be more families instead of war zones. Peace has to find your world. Less murder on your streets. When you have less murder on your streets and more happiness on your streets, on your roads, that is when you know you're on a different world. And then eventually they will bring it up. As for your disclosure, that is up for your aliens connected to you. They're not telling us anything. Blessings to you on your intervention of yourselves. Yes, we do connect to you if you wish to connect to us. Blessings on your journeys. Okay. Alright, blessings everyone. Have a great night.